Yeah, and welcome. All right, I guess this is my last video for today on this subject. I'm just at the hall here. I'm going to be doing some uploading pretty soon. The internet seems really slow right now, so I thought I'd make videos, and everybody's looking at me like I'm strange anyway. Because like, what's he doing? But anyway, I was out riding around. It looks like a really beautiful day, and it is a beautiful day while you're standing here. But at highway speed, it's actually quite cool. The bike, until I would slow down to like say 40 kilometers an hour, about 30 miles an hour. The operational, this bike didn't hit operational temperature at hardly at all today, just due to the fact that it's cool enough when you're riding. Which early spring, that's when you're going to be you're going to be the most sloppiest when you're riding for two reasons. The first reason, quite simply, is you haven't ridden. If you're up here in Canada, it's been 6 months probably since you've ridden, right? So you got to kind of relearn your bike a bit, relearn the road conditions. You have tires that won't heat up very, very much, unless you're maybe in the city. But on the open highways, the tires don't really heat up that much to that, so that the tires feel really hard. And the bike feels like it's dancing around a bit more. And then plus you've got, like here, this road's really extreme with the sand on it. But all over the highways, there's sand all over the place. And it's just enough to make it, with the colder road, the colder tires, it just makes it easier for you to break traction with that little skiff of sand on there. So you want to be gentle with your movements, but also too, be mindful of your physical state. It's a nice sunny day, whatever, your hands are getting a little bit cold, a little bit numb, means you're probably not going to respond quite as fast. If you're riding out for more than an hour at a time, you're probably going to start to get cold. You're going to get tired just from getting back. Like last night, I went for a small ride last night, or yesterday, and I slept like a baby last night because getting used to that wind pushing on you, getting used to being blown around on the bike. In the early spring, the winds are a lot, crosswinds are a lot more. They definitely push you around more. So you're not really fighting the bike, but you got to get used to those elements again, working against you. So you're going to get tired probably sooner than you would normally once you've ridden it quite a few times. Hey, lad. Beautiful day. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, just something to be mindful of is that, this time of year, take a little more time, take more breaks if you have to, because it might, again, the colder air, you might not be hypothermic, but you're definitely probably not going to be as sharp as you would be once the weather gets really, really nice and warm and whatever. And plus, once you get used to riding after about a week or so, and get used to riding into the weather conditions, the road conditions, all that. So just ease into it, but just be mindful that, your reaction time this time of year, you will notice yourself, test yourself, like for example, don't test your brakes too hard unless you know the road's really clean. But test them, just to make sure that you, if you are a little, you check your own response time, because you'll find you're out on the highway, but as soon as you come back into the city or whatever, you're all messed up. This happens to you during the summer, but it also really happens to you when you're a little more cooled down. Your body, you don't respond as fast as you think you're going to respond. So just, and you do get your mental concentration, obviously, the first few rides of the season. Watch for your, be mindful that it's kind of strange enough, but watch for yourself either paying more excessive attention to the bike than you need to, like watching the fuel gauge, watching, if you have one, watching the tachometer, your speed, stuff like that, because you got to readjust and get used to maintaining speed again. It might take you a day. Some people might take them a week. Depends how much you ride. For me, it took me like half an hour, and then I was like, okay, I can ride without looking at the bike at all, and just, monitor things. If you find that you're getting distracted, pull over. If you find that you're, kind of all over the road a bit, maybe, don't go so far on your first few runs. Just, ease your way back into it. That way you're a lot safer. I know it's common sense stuff, but sometimes, some people, their first road trip's going to be like 1,000 miles of the season, just for the bragging rights. And you'll probably be okay, but you are setting yourself up for potential disaster. Also, checking your bike out mechanically. My bike's really dirty right now, but check it out mechanically, all that stuff. I'll get into all that stuff as I go, as the season goes, but it's just the concentration one. After about 45 minutes, an hour, you're probably going to find yourself, kind of not dozing off, but kind of not paying quite, you're not quite as sharp, especially when it's cooler air. So stop more, warm up. You know, if you find your hands are getting cold and getting numb, I found my throttle hand was getting a bit numb today. I do have grip warmers on here, but I usually don't use them that much. But yeah, stuff like that. So just be mindful of your awareness, and if you find that you're not paying attention as much, maybe keep the run a little bit shorter, and just go back and forth. That's what I did today. I covered like 110 kilometers, which is about 70 miles or 65 miles, whatever, and that was fine. And I stopped, visit a few people, that type of thing, and then ended up here. Now I'm going to go home, park the bike for the day, and I'm good. And then tomorrow, do it again. You know, and then as the weather gets warmer, you by that time you'll be reacclimatized. The first week riding on the road is usually the one where you have to pay the most attention. I mean, you always have to pay attention, but it's the one that's where you got to work out your bugs again. So anyway, there we go. Have yourselves a great day, eh?